When somebody requests a video and says, oh, by the way, because you're a dad, you might want to have tissues, it's going to be a hard one.
It's time for reaction. Welcome in. Old School Nerd.
Hey everybody, my name is Wow. When the name you make up for your channel is a tongue twister, that's ridiculous. My name is Old School Nerd. How are you? It's Saturday. We're finishing up our requests for the week, and we've saved this one for the last because, well, we were warned. We were warned like, hey, remember your Constance reaction you did? Where you cried like a baby? Remember the 5-finger death punching you did? Cried like a baby? Yeah. Really? Death Reaper says, hey, Old School Nerd, could you please react to the official video Fade In, Fade Out by Nothing More? It might hit close to home because you're a dad. Keep the tissues handy, you dick. In the best way possible. Okay. Some of you know that I am a single dad of 3 daughters, 21, 17, and 11. And they are my complete world. And when I first started this channel, I was just doing reactions for fun, and it was all well and good. And I had my kids involved with it, and it was really cool. And a lot of you people don't realize that one of my daughters is suffering from a lot of issues in the last year. One of my daughters suffers from Tourette's. She was diagnosed last summer through anxiety and all these other things with COVID and lockdown and everything else. And then just in February, she had a seizure event where a memory ablation took place, where she lost about 6 years, the last 6 years of her memories, and we've been having to build it up. So she's been seeing a lot of counselors, neurologists, lots of tests, MRIs, EEGs, the whole 9 yards. And it's very expensive, it's very stressful and all this other stuff. And a lot of the support that I get on this channel goes to that because it's important to me. There's nothing I won't do for my kids. In fact, the only time I've had to cancel streams or cancel a reaction or not post stuff is because my kids need me. That's the way it is. So here we go. If this song is about being a dad, me and Death Reaper are going to go round and round. Okay. Thank you for coming in. Like and subscribe to the channel. Give us a thumbs up on this video, please. Check out the link to this video. Will be in the description below. Check them out. Go to oldschoolnerd.com. It's got all of our social media posts so you know what's going on with us. It's got our Patreon link for those who want to support us. We do appreciate you so much. You make it to where we can keep going. There's also a new video coming out on Patreon today. It's a reaction that I can't post on YouTube, so it's there. And the merchandise store where they've got a bunch of really cool, you know, this stuff. Anyway, so check it out. All right. This is gonna suck. I can feel it. When they warn you about dads, it's rough. Here we go. It's your little BB hand. Oh, you just wanna squeeze them. You just wanna squeeze those. I mean, now my daughters, like I said, my daughters are 21, 17, and 11. When I tell you, I remember every single one of them when they were that tiny. Yeah. That's like my favorite age. When a little baby is just crawling, just getting mobile, and they start to discover and everything is amazing to them. That's the coolest thing you'll ever experience in your life. I highly recommend it. Just with your own children, don't do it with other people's children. That's just creepy. Sorry. Oh, there's an acoustic version.
Just the other day, I looked at my father. It was the first time I saw he'd grown old. Canyons through his skin and the rivers that made them carve the stories I was told. He said, son, I have watched you fade in. You will watch me fade out. I have watched you fade in. You will watch me fade out. When the grip leaves my hand, I know you won't let me down. Go and find your way. Leave me.
Give me a second. This scenario has nothing to do with my kids. This whole scenario is kind of bothering me a lot. I have a picture of me, just like this on a Polaroid, that's faded. But instead of a soccer ball, it's me holding a basketball above my head. And my father took the picture, just like this. Normally that wouldn't make you cry, except for the fact of, I'm sorry. Everything you see in this video didn't happen for me. Remember, if some of you that saw the 5-finger death punch video know that my father suffers from PTSD from Vietnam. And he wasn't around when I was a kid. Yeah, he took a picture of me like this, but I don't remember any of the times that him and I spent because there were so few and far between. My father suffered from PTSD so much that he allowed alcohol and other activities to cope with his problems, keep him away from me. So my father didn't teach me how to throw a baseball. My father didn't teach me how to throw a football. My father didn't teach me how to ride a bike. My mom did. And so when I see this, it also does not hurt. It also does not help hurt. It also does not help that the dad in this video, if you take the baseball hat off and the glasses off, this guy looks a lot like my dad. My dad's super skinny, thin guy, kind of looks like Tobias from that Eskimo cowboy video that we're not going to talk about. But God, all this stuff reminds me of the life I didn't have. This sucks. And it's not even for the reason that y'all thought it was going to suck. Wow. All right. Let's just ignore my pain. Let's just move on.
Watch me fade out. When the grip leaves my hand, I know you won't let me down. Go and find your way. Leave me in your wake. Always push through the pain. And don't run away from change. Never settle. Make your mark. Hold your head up. Follow your heart. Follow your heart. Just the other day, I stared at the ocean. With every new wave, another must go.
That's a hard thing to do for any parent. Whether you're a mom or a dad, any parent out there. If your kids get into stuff that you don't agree with, or think your kids get into stuff when they're young that you know are against your rules, like he's smoking marijuana, doing drugs, whatever. When he's an adult, just like all of our kids are adults, they're going to make adult choices, and that's fine. But as long as they're young, you're responsible for them, so you try to not do that. So the dad has to correct the behavior, but at the same time, he loves his kid's art. He loves what his kid, he does not love what his kid is doing, but he loves what his kid is creating. It's being a dad. This video sucks.
One day you'll remember us laughing. One day you'll remember my passion. One day you'll have one of your own. I say, son, I have watched you fade in. You will watch me fade out. When the grip leaves my hand, I know you won't let me down. Go and find your way. Leave me in your wake. Always push through the pain. And don't run away from change. Never settle. Make your mark. Hold your head up. Follow your heart. Follow your heart. Follow your heart. Follow your heart. You'll get lost sometimes trying to find what we're looking for. You'll get lost sometimes trying to find what we're looking for. I have watched you fade in. You will watch me fade out. I have watched you fade in. You will watch me fade out. When the grip leaves my hand, I know you won't let me down. Go and find your way. Leave me in your wake. Always push through the pain. And don't run away from change. Never
Can't talk yet. Oh, okay. Who the hell made this video and how do they know me? My dad and I were estranged all of our lives because of the choices he made versus being my dad versus him doing his thing. The story's a little different where the child rebelled and the dad reached out, but then the dad had to walk away. This, my dad just wasn't around because of his illness. What turned it around for my dad was when I found out that Megan was going to be born. When I found out I was going to be a father, I told my dad. In the 10 months, well, 9 months, that there was an 8-month period. We found out that Megan was going to be born in January. We found out we were pregnant in January, February, and we told my dad. And for those 6 months, from February to August, my dad called me every day, took time out of his day to talk to me, invited me down. We go to lunch, we talk about my job, we talk about my career, we talk about my college degree, everything I was doing. And my dad finally listened to what the man I had become. And he had told me he was proud. At the same time, my dad bought a Harley Davidson. And I told my dad in February, I said, Dad, I love you, but you really got to get rid of this bike. And he's like, why? He said, because you're the most accident-prone guy I know. Dad, you have wrecked every car you've ever owned. And my dad was in construction and he had one of those backhoes, which is the front end loader with the digging attachment on the back. He literally sunk one of those in a sand pit. You sunk a backhoe heavy equipment, a Caterpillar backhoe, like a boat in the ocean. You don't need to be on a motorcycle. And even if you do everything right, everybody else out there, someone else is going to mess up. And apropos, August 13th, 1999, Friday the 13th, my dad was hit by a drunk driver and killed. 2 months before Megan was born. So he never got to meet his granddaughter. And he was only really my real true dad for 6 months of my life. The last 6 months of his life were the first 6 months he was really my dad. Because knew he was going to be a grandfather. That haunts me to this day. Every day, it haunts me. This video is ridiculously close. I mean, I know Death Reaper says it might hit close to home because you're a dad, but Death Reaper doesn't know who I am, and he has no idea about my life. He has no idea how many of these things hit me like a hammer. Every time they go to a different part of this video, it's hitting me like a freaking, like a sledgehammer in my head and in my heart. I'm glad my dad took the time to tell me he was proud of me, to tell me he loved me, to tell me how happy he was that he was going to be a granddad. And I curse this guy every day that he didn't listen to me when I said, you got to get rid of the bike. And no, he did everything right. My dad was riding with his girlfriend at the time, and he was on the inside of the lane. She was on the outside of the lane, and the woman who was drunk pulled out in front of them. And the last thing my dad did before he made impact was to kick the bike of his girlfriend so she would dump over. Why? Because if she dumped over, the bike would slide into the car and she wouldn't. But because he did that, he couldn't stop. And he hit. And his helmet hit the car, and he sheared his brain, and that was it. That's my life. This damn video. It's a beautiful song. It's a beautiful video, but boy, I am the wrong person to react to it. There's nothing a dad won't do. A real dad. If you're a young person out there and you think that your dad doesn't worry every moment, doesn't think about you every moment, doesn't think about the next year, the next 5 years, the next 10 years, we do. And if we can't do it directly, we'll figure out a way to help you another way. Wow.
That's where you'll find me.
Oh shit. Now we're into the thing that scares my kids more than anything. My daughter Megan, my oldest, she is constantly giving me hell about my cholesterol and my blood pressure and my stress level, anxiety with everything I have to do. This is her biggest fear. I need you guys not to let Megan see this, because this is Megan's biggest fear. The water broke. come full circle for him. This is the moment. If you're a young man out there, or you're already a dad, you already know what's coming up. If you're a dad, you know this moment. If you're a young man out there, or even a child, at some point, you're going to come to this moment where you stop being you and you start being a dad. It's funny because in this moment, two things happen. God, this is hard. Two things happen in this moment. One, the weight of the world crashes on your shoulders. But another thing happens. Suddenly the strength occurs that you can lift it. You just can. Everything that you think you can't do, everything you think or you worry about, like, how am I going to figure all this out? You just do. You just figure it out. For all of those out there who are not a dad yet, or you're about to be a dad, or you've just become a dad, you can do it. You don't have to be perfect. You just gotta, you can't stop. You can't quit. You just try. Just be there. Because if my dad had been there, my world would have been completely different. But in some ways, I'm glad my dad wasn't there because it put a fire in me to never, ever not be present and be there for those three little girls. From day one to now and tomorrow. Time to go, bro. Time to go, bro. Let's go. You saw his eyes? Look at his eyes. Look at his eyes here. It's a great actor, by the way. Great acting. Watch. See his eyes? Hopeless. Lost. No focus. No idea. He has no idea what to do. Look at him. Look at his eyes. He doesn't have a spine or a bit of power. He thinks he can't do anything. Look at these eyes. He's a dad. You know how you know? We see this look all the time. You know what that look is? It's go time. Those are dad eyes. Wow. You saw the flashing images? Did you see the last one? It was just a flash. It was super quick. Did you see it? There were all these flashing images. Watch. Watch. The last image. The baby's there. They're there. Now. Oh my God. Oh. Okay. Death Reaper, you suck. But thank you. That was an amazing video. God. It was a lot about dads because I'm a dad. But don't let me forget. There's a lot of moms out there doing it all by themselves too. And they gotta be both. My mom was one of those. She was a rock star. She was my hero. But because she had to be my hero on her own, that's why I will never not be there. And I had a picture that I saved for something I was working on for later. For a month, I've been working on a project for a little bit. And I had to happen to have something already made for something else for Caroline. And since it's here, I thought it'd be a good time to do that. Thank you so much for coming in. This was a crazy video. And just like at the very end of the video, we saw this image right here. I'll leave all of you with this one. And we'll see all of you the next time.